to the Lafayette Jeff 4A Semi-State. The South Bend Riley Wildcats and the Carmel Greyhounds. Hi everybody, Howard Kelman along with Dave Nicholson. It isn't often, Dave, you have someone undefeated coming into this.
You know, we have South Bend Riley 26-0. There's another team in the state playing down at Seymour, Warren Central, undefeated. That is very rare. But when you get to the Semistate, you're going to have great basketball teams. You're going to have great players, good coaching. So it's going to be a great afternoon of basketball.
You're watching the Best Choice Fieldhouse Semi-State on the LaCie Broadcasting Network. Welcome back to the Lafayette Jeff 4A Semi-State. South Bend Riley 26-0, Carmel 20-7. Dave Nicholson, the key players. We'll start with South Bend Riley.
Okay, for the undefeated Wildcats, you start with number 23, Demezi Anderson. He's a 6'6" senior. He averages 20 points a ball game. He's going to be attending IU next year. And at forward, number 35, Rylan Grundy. He's a 6'5" senior. He averages 7 points a game for the Wildcats. Keys to the game for South Bend Riley: get some transition baskets, get the ball out and run with it. Carmel does not like to race up and down. Push the tempo. Double on Malloy. That's John Michael Malloy, the 6'10" guy for Carmel. They've got to double down on him. He's awfully good down around the basket. They must have strong rebounding in the game this afternoon. Starters for South Bend Riley: at guard, number 11, Jalen Jennings, a 5'8" junior. At guard, number 23, Demezi Anderson, a 6'6" senior. At forward, number 15, Shamar Dillard. He's 6'6" tall, and he's a senior. And 33 at forward, Gabe Johnson. He's a 6'4" junior. And a third forward in the lineup, number 35, Rylan Grundy. He's a 6'5" senior. There's how the Wildcats from South Bend Riley got here. In the sectional, they defeated Penn 60-47. And then in the championship, South Bend Adams 98-58. Nothing close about those games. They dominated. In the regional, they beat Lake Central 54-38. And then, not very close, but the closest game they've had, Elkhart Memorial in the championship, they won by a score of 75-68. Now let's take a look at the Carmel Greyhounds, a record of 20 wins and only 7 losses. When you talk about key players, you look at number 3 right there on your screen, Cole Jenkins. He's 6 foot tall. He's a senior. He only averages 8 points a game, but he has been on a roll this last month and into the tournament play. And of course, you got to talk about number 33 at forward, John Michael Malloy. He's 6 foot 10 inches tall. He's a junior. He averages 15 points for the Greyhounds. Keys to the game for Carmel: execute on the half court. They prefer that type of game rather than going up and down. Check on the boards. They'll have to have some help rebounding. Owens must help Malloy do that. Defend Anderson well. We've talked about Demezi Anderson. He's a very good player. They've got to really go after him defensively. Starters for Carmel: at guard, number 3, Cole Jenkins. He's a 6 foot senior. The other guard, number 11, Luke Hetty, a 5'11" junior. Third guard in the lineup, number 4, Eddie Gill, a 6 foot senior. At one forward, number 20, Andrew Owens, a 6'6" junior. And at forward, number 33, John Michael Malloy, a 6'10" junior. Here's how Carmel got here. In the Noblesville sectional, they beat Westfield 33-24 in a slowdown game by Westfield. Then Hamilton Southeastern in the championship, Carmel that was a semifinal game, 62-56. Then they beat Fishers in the championship game, 56-49. In the regional, they defeated Homestead in a relatively close game, 46-41. And in the championship, they defeated Fort Wayne North 54-42.
Well done as always, Dave. Our officials: Trey Miller, James Payne, and Jeff Meeks. Stephen Mozingo is the alternate. You heard the tail end of our national anthem. National anthem before each game today.
And I don't know if I've heard the electric guitar do the anthem before.
Very impressive.
Well done.
Very, very impressive. Well, Dave Nicholson, these teams, South Bend Riley and Carmel, had one common opponent, Cathedral.
And I bet South Bend Riley won.
Because they're undefeated this
Just
season.
a plot. They're kind of contrasting philosophies. Carmel likes to play the half-court offense. They only put up 58 points a ball game. And then you go to South Bend Riley. They like to go up and down the court. They average 74 points per game. So whoever can dictate the tempo, I think, has a great advantage in this ball game. Whoever can establish that.
The starting lineups will be introduced, and we had quite a first game today.
Outstanding ball game. You saw Greencastle, we knew was going to be carried by Gillis and Bomelo, and they were. They had great games. Newcastle, I should say. And Culver Military just played, I thought, extremely well. They got off to a slow start. Remember, they had no seniors, so I felt like the jitters, and maybe the sophomores and the juniors, but they settled down and I thought just played great, and particularly Galloway, the coach's son. He just, we talked about it during the broadcast, he just knows how to play. He knows where everybody is on the court. He finds them. He gives the ball up easily.
Some players just have great court sense, great court presence.
And he definitely has that. Now, in this ball game for the Carmel Greyhounds, I mentioned in the key players, Cole Jenkins, he's a 6-foot senior, only averages 8 points a ball game. But the coach says the last month he has been terrific, and during the sectional and the regional. Of course, you've got Luke Hetty. That's Scott Hetty's son. Scott was the longtime coach of the Carmel Greyhounds and won 2 state championships there. His son runs the point. And a guy that we didn't see early in the year because he was injured, Eddie Gill, has come on and given them real stability in handling the ball. He is the best athlete on the Carmel Greyhound team. He'll be wearing number 4. And everybody knows about John Michael Malloy. And he's going to attend Butler. He's already announced, verbally committed to Butler University. So they've got some players. They've been here before, and they're very confident in their ability.
And not only is Luke Hetty's father a coach, but so is his grandfather.
Bob sitting across the court from us. I had a chance to say hello to him this afternoon, and he's doing well. And he's watched a lot of basketball games when he was coaching, and then, of course, as his son played and his grandson. And, of course, Scott Hetty is the coach at Marion University, and I'm sure that Bob goes down and watches every home game there. So he and his wife have been very loyal in that. Now you're watching South Bend Riley get introduced out there. Jamison Anderson, just under 20 points a game, going to IU, outstanding. And then you got Shamar Dillard, a 6'6 senior, averaging 9 points a game. And you have Gabe Johnson averaging about 7.5 points a game. So Anderson's a big-time scorer, but then you have 7 people from 7 points or more that help him out.
And we're moments away from the start of this 4A semi-state game. South Bend Riley, as Dave said, being introduced. They're wearing the visiting uniforms, the dark uniforms. And the Carmel Greyhounds will be in their home white uniforms. This is our final telecast of the 2017-2018 season. And it wraps up the 29th consecutive year that WHMB TV has carried high school basketball. Glad to have our station in South Bend along with us today as well. WHME, and we're delighted they're with us too.
Talk about South Bend Riley being undefeated, 26-0. And I've said many times, I think it is really, really difficult, and you have to be lucky along the way too to go undefeated throughout an entire basketball season.
You know, what's really interesting too, Dave, is that these two teams having great seasons, and both coaches are in their first year.
That's true. Ryan Osmond he was a long-time assistant with Hetty, so he was familiar with all the kids and the style of play. And I'm sure he put his own touch on it, his own philosophy a little bit, tweaked it a little bit, but basically he's got things in place. If it's working, why change it? And on South Bend Riley, there was a deal last spring where they let the other coach go, and we were going to have them in our Hall of Fame tournament, if you remember, but the rumor was that Anderson was going to move if the coach left. And if you take that 20 points off that team, so we changed and brought in Bloomington South. But Eric Brand, he's a Bloomington, Indiana native, played there at Bloomington High School, and then he attended Bethel College, and I can tell you, he was quite a player. He's been named to the National NAIA Hall of Fame. And when he was at Bethel, they won the National NAIA Championship twice in '97 and '98. So Eric has had quite a playing background, and now he's starting his coaching background.
And he was an assistant coach at Warren Central.
He was, and in college, he was on the college staff in some capacity at Bethel, New Mexico State, Baylor, and Texas State. So he's built it up over the years to paid his dues to get his opportunity, and boy, has he made the most of it this year, bringing his team in here 26-0.
So we're ready to go on the Best Choice Fieldhouse Semi-State. Game number 2, the 4A Semi-State. John Michael Malloy at 6'10", getting set to jump for Carmel, and Shamir Dillard at 6'6", jumping for South Bend Riley. We're ready to go for a Semi-State. The tip controlled by South Bend Riley. And there's a 3 by Shamar Dillard, who'll be going to Western Illinois. And he's a great three-point shooter, Dave.
He's 46%, Howard. He hasn't shot a bunch of them. That's only his 40th attempt this season, but he hits them 46%. That is superior.
19 of 40, three-point land. The big guy, Malloy, and he scores. So it's 3-2 in favor of the Wildcats in the opening moment. How about this Carmel defense?
They're man-to-man. That's the defensive choice throughout the season. They'll switch it up, press a little bit, but primarily they're going to be man-to-man.
15 is Dillard. Dillard again. Not this time. Malloy with a rebound. He's Butler bound.
South Bend Riley's also in a man-to-man.
Cole Jenkins. Up high to Eddie Gill. Eddie Gill, number 4. And the 3. Jenkins hits a 3. His 29th three-point field goal of the season.
He hits them at the rate of 36%, and he's the one the coach said had been on a roll lately.
Gabe Johnson. Out of bounds to Carmel.
Gabe didn't allow for the wind on that shot.
We played almost a minute and a half. Greyhounds ahead 5-3. Carmel 20-7. South Bend Riley 26-0.
We had a tremendous crowd earlier today, and the people were in here tonight. Not quite sold out, but very, very close to sold out here at the Jefferson High School.
Malloy kicks it back outside. And the 3 by Owens, Andrew Owens. 3 of 3. And a timeout. Let's see what the call is. I'm not sure what the call is here.
One of the players. It involved Gabe Johnson, and I'm not sure what went down, but where he got hit. Coach Brand is talking right now to the referee, trying to get an explanation.
That's Tywan Reed, number 45, whom you saw, who came in to replace him. Now this South Bend Riley team, Dave, is very deep and a veteran team also. Jennings, no. Tip, no. Another tip, no. Another one. And it's knocked away by Eddie Gill, but he was out of bounds on the sideline.
Great hustle play there by Eddie Gill. Couldn't quite keep it in bounds, but I mentioned he's an excellent athlete, the best on the Carmel team.
We talked about it. It's a senior-laden South Bend Riley team, and they're very deep, too.
They are very deep. They've got 6 people that score every ball game.
Grundy 3, no. Offensive board, Jennings, no. And they're crashing the offensive boards, and that's going to pay off for them.
Jenkins got a block on that.
And Owens hits a 3 again. Carmel hasn't missed.
Owens, another guy that hasn't taken a lot of free throws. He shoots it at 48% from the 3-line.
Timeout, South Bend Riley. Carmel ahead 11-3. Fans, if you're looking to take luxury driving to the next level, look no further than Tom Roush, celebrating 46 years in business. Visit them online at TomRoushLincolnWestfield.com on David Brown Drive in Westfield. We also want to tell you about our good friends at the American Legion. The American Legion, Department of Indiana's Hoosier Boys State, provides young men with leadership guidance, creating a fictional and functional state government based on Indiana's political process. Our good friends over there, Will Henry, John Crosby, Tim Sproles. For more info, go to indianalegion.org.
Well, you talk about Andrew Owens shooting the ball behind the 3-line. Carmel takes 15 or more threes every ball game.
Jennings, that's a 3 by Anderson. No, he's Indiana University bound. Traveling is the call as Reed walked with the ball. It's 11-3 Carmel, but I just think South Bend Riley's going to get back in this game.
They have an awful lot of quickness, athletic ability. I agree with you. They will be back, make the ball game real tight.
Eddie Gill gives it over to Cole Jenkins. Jenkins is 6-foot senior. Pressed by Jalen Jennings. And a held ball.
Correct call. The official came up with the right hand. I thought he was going to call a foul, but it was a jump ball. Good call. Carmel's won their last 7 ball games, so they as a team have been on a roll. I mentioned early that Gill was hurt, and they had a couple of football players they had to get in shape.
They've gotten much better, as you said, as the season's progressed. They wanted to do a pick and roll. Instead, the ball was taken away. And a foul. Or, let's see.
That's another jump ball.
Another held ball.
Both teams tried to do a little spin move with the ball, and the defenses are so quick. You got to be cautious about using that spin move.
How about Demessi Anderson averaging 19.7 per game, and he's got the ball right now. Let's watch it. Off the dribble, and he hits. He had a hand in his face, Dave.
That's a jump shot off the dribble, 2 hard dribbles to his right. He had just enough space to get it up. Difficult shot. He made it look easy.
South Bend Riley had to score 3.5 minutes. John Michael Malloy, it counts in a foul. Carmel is 5 of 5 from the field.
There's a replay. This is a great move for a big guy. 1 dribble move to the middle, and he's 6'10". You're not going to go up and block that. And foul was on Shamar Dillard, his first personal foul, the first foul of the ballgame.
We're almost midway through the first quarter. John Michael Malloy is a good free throw shooter. 76% southpaw. Looked very good, very nice touch.
Southpaws historically are better shooters than right-handers. Now, I did a lot of research on that. I had 2 left-handers could really shoot it, so but I've always felt that left-handers really do shoot the ball a little better.
Nice pass underneath in the basket by Grundy. And a 7-point lead for Carmel. Here's Gill. Eddie Gill, number 4. Jenkins, his dad, played in the NBA for a long time. Long 3 by Jenkins, no. Got that one from Hamilton County. Anderson with the rebound. One-on-one play. Not that time. Malloy's got the rebound. They could have called a foul as he got pushed.
There was some contact there, but You notice Carmel doesn't try to run the fast break very often.
Malloy for three. Uh-oh, he may not try that again.
I've seen
Timeout. We'll pause for these words on the Best Choice Fieldhouse Semi-State on the LaCie Broadcasting Network. And there's the score on the Indiana Members Credit Union scoreboard. Carmel ahead 14-7. I'm proud to say that Dr. Gary Walton has been my dentist for over 20 years, one of the top dentists in all of Central Indiana. He has over 30 years of experience in the areas of cosmetic and mercury-free dentistry. Dr. Gary Walton, a proud Zionsville resident, 9002 North Meridian. Phone for an appointment, 574-1138, and his hygienist, Crystal, does a wonderful job with the cleanings. Dr. Gary Walton. Dave Nicholson, your impressions of what we have seen so far?
both handling the ball pretty well. I felt there's been one bad shot in the last 30 seconds from each team. One for South Bend, and of course John Michael became a point guard and took that long three, and both of them were air balls. So that the only 2 turnovers for the Wildcats and only 1 for the Greyhounds. Carmel.
South Bend Riley ball. Grundy had a moment ago. Now it goes over to Trevor Fortune. Now the one thing that's happened so far is Carmel has been shooting outstanding from the field.
They're shooting the ball very well, and they always play solid defense.
Grundy hits a 3, and he's 11 of 22 now, 50% from three-point land this year. South Bend has scored consecutive baskets now. You commit yourself there, which you shouldn't do. Good ball movement, crisp passing, and the 3 by Cole Jenkins. He has a couple of threes. And the Greyhounds continue to shoot the eyes out of the basket. It's tough to do that for 4 quarters. They're 6 of 8 from the field.
They came out of the gate strong, and as you say, have really been knocking the shots down.
No basket, foul on the floor, and it's not as if these 6 field goals have been layups either. They've been long-range shots.
Very nice drive there by Rylan Grundy, taking the ball to the basket.
Get out to Andy Moore Avon Nissan on US 36. 5 minutes from Avon High School, 5 minutes west of 465. The #1 Nissan dealership in the greater Indianapolis area. Ben Mendoza, Tim DeMent, Pat Hurst, and the great people at Andy Moore Avon Nissan. Ball knocked away. And another held ball. Each team's turned it over twice.
That was Luke Hetty that stuck his head in there and knocked that ball loose. He got hit in the mouth, but he'll be fine. He's a tough kid. Point guard, 5'11", averages 8 points a ball game. He's a junior also.
Under 2 minutes left in the quarter. 7-point lead. Ball knocked away, recovered. Malloy's deep, and he didn't score that time. And the rebound taken by Grundy. There's a foul. That might be on Jenkins.
It is on Cole Jenkins, his first.
Exciting news, folks. Tom Roush, the Central Indiana's newest Mitsubishi dealer. $5,000 off a new Outlander, 0% financing, 84 months. Visit the showroom in Westfield or online at TomRoushMitsubishi.com. There's Grundy, and he's fouled in the act of shooting.
Last couple of possessions, both ball clubs have decided to take it to the basket, which is a smart thing to do. You're going to see a replay here. Drive to the basket. Nice crossover move to get it to the hoop. And both teams need to be doing that because you can't rely on that outside shot all the time. There's got to be a blend, a balance.
And Jalen Wack commits the personal. And Owens is back in for him. Grundy with 6 points. Not a good free throw shooter, 49%. But he made both of those, so he's now 28 of 55 this season. And for South Bend, Shamar Dillard is back in the game.
Here comes a little full court press action. They're saying John Michael's got a little blood on his uniform. If so, they'll have to get the trainer to clean that off. They normally will give him time to do that.
And the officials confer.
John Michael was looking around. He didn't even know he had any blood on him. It must have been the size of a pinhead. It wasn't showing. I understand the rule, but if you're going to do that, you could give the guy a second or two, because see, he's ready to come back in, but you can't come back in until there's been a live ball. Full court press by Riley. Carmel's pretty good at handling the ball, but I think it's wise for Riley to use the full court pressures. Put the heat on early.
That's Cole Jenkins moving it across. A minute and a half left in the first quarter. Eddie Gill. Gill had a look there. Thought about it, but decided not to shoot.
Well, Gill's not in the top 5 on the team on perimeter shooting, so he's a physical guy, takes it to the basket more.
And here is a whistle. Andy Moore Toyota on US 36. 5 minutes west of 465, 5 minutes from Avon High School. New vehicles, pre-owned vehicles, Jeremy Wilson and those people will take great care of you at Andy Moore Toyota.
Foul was on Taylor from Riley. Two team fouls on Riley, 3 on the Greyhounds at this point.
Here's Cole Jenkins. They lost the ball.
Stepped on the out of bounds line before he made the pass. It goes back to the Greyhounds.
That was Harrington Greer who stepped on the sideline. That's a ball back to Carmel now. And they could play for the last shot of the quarter. Wouldn't be surprised if they did. 45 seconds, but they're ahead by 5 points. They've had a really good quarter.
They'll keep looking for an opportunity, but you're right. They're in no hurry to shoot until the last 4 seconds. And they're good with the basketball.
Heading.
Both of these ball clubs, they don't. Carmel only turns it over 11 times a game, and South Bend 11. So that's pretty good.
Absolutely. Here's Eddie Gill, and they are playing for that last shot. We're down to 12 seconds. Right next to the midcourt line there.
Run a little play off of John Michael, let him roll to the basket.
Jenkins dribbling down to 3 seconds. Eddie Gill, and he was fouled in the act of shooting the 3. Wow.
That is not what you want to do.
That may be where you got out of coaching at a young age.
That foul was on Greer. They had Eddie Gill shooting a desperation shot. He didn't have a good look. No reason to make contact there.
0.6 of a second left. He's a 76% free throw shooter. He'll get 2 more. Whatever he gets here is just a sheer bonus. Carmel by 6.
Nice start by the Greyhounds. There's the team that we didn't think would score a lot of points, and they have a 6-point lead looking for 7 here in the first period.
0.6 of a second, and that's the end of a great first quarter for Carmel. Carmel 19, South Bend Riley 12 on the Best Choice Fieldhouse Semistate on the LaCie Television Network. We welcome you back to the Lafayette Jeff 4A Semi-State, the Indiana Members Credit Union scoreboard, and 19-10, 19-12 Carmel. Dave, your impressions of the first quarter?
I thought Carmel did a nice job of handling the ball. They only turned it over 2 times in the quarter, but the important thing is they put the ball in the basket on a regular basis, 60%, whereas South Bend Riley was shooting 28.6%. So the difference is putting the ball in the basket, and I think Riley may need to get a little better shot selection.
Malloy got his 4th rebound. There is Owens. Jenkins, not that time. Rebound all South Bend Riley. Taken down by Shamar Dilliard.
Somehow John Michael Malloy ended up flat on his back in the free throw lane.
Dilliard in close, didn't score. Jalen Jennings threw him a terrific pass.
Luke Heddy there at the ball. He's a good point guard. He plays the off guard some with Jenkins, but he can pass with either hand with a lot of velocity on the ball.
Jenkins, three, rims the basket. Rebound taken down by Grundy.
So many guys that can only pass with their strong hand.
And a lot of contact underneath, a foul against the Greyhounds.
They're calling for the basket. I'm not so sure on that. I think it was on the drive. There's a foul. They did not count the basket.
So that's Jalen Jennings at the line, a 5'8" junior. You want a great deal on a new or pre-owned car? Ed Martin Acura. Ed Martin Acura, 96th, just east of Keystone. Gabe Green and Bob Werner and that crew will take great care of you. That's Ed Martin Acura for great deals. And he's got it.
Riley keeping on the press. I think that's a good thing. Over the course of 32 minutes, that kind of wears you down if you're being pressed full court.
There's Eddie Gill. There's John Michael Malloy backing in with precision, spinning, and the ball taken away. What a play by Jennings, I should say. And Jennings was fouled by Heddy. And a great play by Jalen Jennings with quickness.
Here's that entire scenario there. John Michael, nice step under. He got stripped. And here comes 2-on-1. Heddy gets back. He thinks he's going to give a layup, so he says, I'm going to take the foul.
And it's barely saved by Anderson.
That was kind of a circus trip, just the inbounds the ball.
And we know what a talented player Demessi Anderson is, and they've held him in check so far.
He's a point of emphasis, no question about that, of the defense.
That jumper, no, by Grundy.
New player in the lineup for Carmel, number 14, Carson Winland.
Grundy 2 of 6 from the floor. Karsten Winland, number 14, shooting for 3 and hitting. He is 17 of 44 this year, three-point land.
He transferred over from Pendleton High School to Carmel, and he can score the ball.
All the way to the hoop goes Jalen Jennings.
I believe that was Winland that picked up the personal. His first, of course. He just entered the ball game.
And Jennings will shoot 2, fouled in the act. Proprietors Larry and Donna Cohen of Norley Investments, proud supporters of high school sports. Norley Investments, downtown Indianapolis. Larry, a proud Broad Ripple graduate. Donna, a Kokomo graduate. And Larry all excited about his young and talented Chicago White Sox. He and Tim Borf, big fans of the White Sox. And they have some good young players.
Jalen Jennings knocked down the second free throw. Riley's got to get a couple of stops to get right back in the ball game. Offense has been a little slow for them.
Malloy outside. He shot a 3 earlier, and they want him closer to the basket. He's getting closer to the basket. He had the ball taken away again.
There's another foul on Heddy. He got tangled up at the 10-second line. That's Luke's Heddy's second personal foul.
5th Carmel turnover. Indiana's Basketball Encyclopedia, Hoosier Basketball Magazine, your source for all high school, college, and pro basketball in Indiana. Hoosier Basketball Magazine. So we will stay here. We'll also tell you that Andy Moore Volkswagen is the newest VW dealership in the greater Indianapolis area, located on US 36 in Avon, 5 minutes west of 465. You can get a great deal. It's a beautiful dealership. Mike Reed and that crew take great care of you at Andy Moore Volkswagen.
Talking about the keys to our game, we started out with Howard. We said Carmel needed to execute on the half court. You're looking at their huddle there with Coach Ryan Osborne. They have done a pretty good job of execution on the half court, and they got to defend Anderson well, and they certainly have done that. I have Anderson for 1 field goal in this ball game, and he's a big-time scorer, as we said, for Riley. On the other side, Riley needed some transition baskets. Haven't had too many of those. Carmel did commit 2 fouls to prevent them from getting a layup, and they need to double down on Malloy, and they've done a reasonable job there.
Here's Marlon Taylor at the line. 33 of 66, 50% from the line this season. They made that one. His first point. And Hetty will sit down with the 2 personals.
Alex Jackson replaces him. Alex is a 6'4" senior for the Greyhounds.
Short, rebound Eddie Gill, whose dad played for the Indiana Pacers, among other teams. South Bend Riley, 5 of 8 from the line. That's 62% in the game. And that's a turnover as
trying to get the
Woodland's
ball
pass
down.
went out of bounds.
Yeah, trying to get it to John Michael Malloy down on the baseline, and Windland timing was just a little bit off. Windland says, my fault.
5 minutes left in period 2. That's Taylor, no. He's a pretty good 3-point shooter, but he missed that one. 11 of 25 this year.
Real battle for the rebound there, and Windland thought it went off of Riley, but they're going to give the ball back to South Bend under their own basket.
Here's Jennings. Spinning into the lane is Grundy, missed the shot though. And the follow put up and in, and the basket by Marlon Taylor, the 6'5" senior. That's an interesting stat on him. We mentioned about Taylor as Malloy kicks it back out. 3 by Owens, no. And here comes South Bend Riley. We'll get to that stat in a moment. Taylor, 33 of 66. That's a long 3, no rebound Taylor. So Taylor not shooting well from the free throw line, but 11 of 25 from 3-point line. Anderson hits. That's Demessi Anderson. Indiana University bound his second field goal.
And we got a 2-point game, Howard. All of a sudden, Riley has come all the way back. Trail only by 2.
The Wildcats with 7 straight points. Here's Malloy backing in, reaching in, and committing a foul there is on Anderson. We'll pause for these words on the Best Choice Fieldhouse Semistate on the LaCie Broadcasting Network. Welcome back. The Indiana Members Credit Union scoreboard 22-20 in favor of Carmel. Friends, Tom Roush, Indiana's #1 Mazda dealer, and in March there are great deals at Tom Roush Mazda on David Brown Drive in Westfield and online at tomroushmazda.com. And we'll also tell you that the American Legion Department of Indiana's Oratorical Contest Scholarship teaches leadership qualities, the nation's laws, and the ability to think and speak clearly. For more info, indianalegion.org. And a special hello to J.R. Gaylor, Executive Director, Associated Builders and Contractors. Associated Builders and Contractors, Merit Shop Construction.
Had a good look in the Carmel huddle during that timeout. One of the lead assistants that joined the squad this year is J.R. Howell. That's Jimmy Howell's son. He had been the head coach at 2 other schools, the most recent Western Boone High School. He went over and joined the Coach Osborne's coaching staff at home.
And the pass knocked away, recovered.
Goaltending. They say a foul. Wow, that was pretty close to goaltending. Watch the replay and help me out here at home, see how it goes. Windland's going to go right down the lane, and he goes up for the basket. it was not above the rim. I think it was a good no call on the goaltender.
I agree. Karsten Windland at the line, a 67% free throw shooter. Dilliard's second personal. Windland with his fourth point. That ended a 7-0 Wildcats run. 3 years ago, South Bend Riley made it to the semi-state again as well. That one no good. Last South Bend Riley player to go to Indiana University, Tom Abernathy. Demezi Anderson is IU bound. Inside the lane, the short jump by Fortune didn't go. And Carmel will get it back.
Coach Brand thought that was off of Carmel. I thought so too from my angle. I thought it went off a white jersey. Got to play on.
3:10 left first half. Carmel by 3. Carmel had a big lead early in the game. By 9, Malloy goes to the hoop.
Foul's going to be on Ryland Grundy. He challenged that layup by John Michael. And he didn't get the layup, but he picked up a personal foul.
Carmel led by 9 early. And South Bend Riley's biggest lead 3. Grundy commits the personal. Malloy, who is a very good free throw shooter, missed that one, 76%. Carmel is 4 of 7 from the line. Malloy has 6 points, and Carmel has a 4-point lead. That's Jalen Jennings. Here's Anderson, and he draws a foul.
He's got a nice move there. He gets the ball on the wing, takes 1 or 2 quick dribbles to the baseline, gets the defense kind of back on his heels, and then knocks it down. Good look at Eric Brand, the South Bend Riley coach.
And he gets one more. He makes the first. Check out Andy Moore, Avon Nissan on US 36. They're open as we speak. 5 minutes from Avon High School, 5 minutes west of 465. The #1 Nissan dealership in the greater Indianapolis area. Ben Mendoza, Tim DeMent, Pat Hurst and the great crew, and Andy Moore, Avon Nissan. He missed it. Gill got the rebound. Owens for 3, and he hits Andrew Owens.
It's his 3rd one. He had 2 in the first quarter, you remember, so he's doing well behind the line.
And he's a terrific 3-point shooter.
48%.
And that's with a good sample size, 40 of 82 coming in. Foul underneath.
Looks like a Gill's on the
physical,
floor,
hard
and he's
contact.
really grabbing his right knee areas. Hope he's okay. Here's a replay. See what happened with Gill, number 4 here. John Michael went in, blocked it. Gill was going to come in and grab the ball and came together with the South Bend Riley player.
Eddie Gill, that was very close to traveling if it wasn't. He slid. Riley hit a 3 to start the game. Carmel scored the next 11 points and have led ever since. 7th Carmel turnover. That was a tough angle shot by Greer. Here's a 3-on-2. Open man, Eddie Gill with a floater.
Oh, nice floater.
Whoa.
Very nice. Nice recognition by Windland to give the ball over to Gill, because Windland had a possible drive. He just missed one, so he decided to give Gill a turn, and it paid dividends.
That was not an easy shot.
That was a floater.
from the left side, his non-dominant side. Here's Anderson, a long three, way off. Rebound, Malloy. Greyhounds have opened up that lead again. It's up to 8.
I would think they'd use plenty of time in this position. We've only got about 1 minute left here, exactly one in the second quarter.
Why not play for the last shot of the half? You're up by 8.
Unless you can beat your guy to the ring.
Which is what Eddie Gill did, but he missed the shot. Too off balance.
He was off balance. You got it.
At the other end to end, goes Greer. And Marlon Taylor and Trevor Fortune, numbers 43 and 4, check in.
Here's a replay. All the way to basket. Ooh. Looked like it could have gone off of Riley.
Anderson rims the basket. Malloy with a rebound. His 8th board.
He's done a wonderful job on the bank boards. They're really paying attention to him defensively, so he's not getting a lot of opportunities to score down low.
Carmel up by 8, and they'll play for the last shot of the quarter. At least you would think they would. We're down to 20 seconds. Eddie Gill loses the dribble. He had to travel there.
Yep.
And they did call it. And again, you had 16 seconds. You still wanted to wait for the last shot. But Peyton Stovall, our special guest, the athletic director of Lafayette Jeff High School, at the half. Dave will be talking to him. Here's Anderson. We're down to 7 seconds. He'll make his move. There it is. Into the lane. He may have traveled before he shot. He did. South Bend Riley's 3rd turnover. And now Carmel may have a chance if they can get the ball up court in a hurry. 2.9 seconds to go. So both teams have not done well in these last 25 seconds.
Got John Michael camping down here. You'd think that Windland is going to throw it all the way down court. That's the only choice in getting the shot up. And if you throw it away down there, it's not a problem.
He's got time. And he hit it. It's good. He hit it.
Give Windland credit. He threw a perfect pass to Andrew Owens.
That's what happens when you don't put pressure on the inbounds passer. You leave yourself susceptible to them firing it up court at the half on the Indiana Members Credit Union scoreboard. As we look at it again.
Great pass. He took his time. He knew he had time to gather himself, got his balance, and Owens knocked it down.
Carmel 32, South Bend Riley 21 on the Best Choice Fieldhouse Semi-State on the LaCie Broadcasting Network.
There's your halftime score. The Carmel Greyhounds 32, South Bend Riley Wildcats 21. A little bit of a surprise, particularly with that spread here at halftime. Our special guest with us now is Peyton Stovall. Peyton is the athletic director here at Lafayette Jeff High School. He played here. I remember when you went up and down the court and you're pretty doggone good. Then you went to Ball State and you were pretty doggone good. Fill us in. I know you had a great time playing high school ball here and at Ball State.
Yeah, this place, Lafayette Jeff, it means a lot to me. Being an alum here and knowing what these people, teachers and staff, provided me, and now to be able to give back. Awesome opportunity to be back at Jeff and doing those things and playing basketball here, obviously with the nostalgia and the tradition, the winning tradition.
I remember that quite well. I coached at Benton Central for 5 years, and then we had to come here every year for the regional. If we're lucky enough, we won a couple of 3 sections up there. So we come down here and boom, this place was rocking back then.
Absolutely.
Did you coach any after Ball State?
I did. I went to Yorktown and helped out at Yorktown, volunteered there, and then went down to Evansville North. Was at Evansville North and had a great opportunity to work for John Skinner and our district AD and Paul Neidig. It was a great opportunity there, and I was down there with Scott Bunnell. He's the head coach at the time, so it was a lot of fun.
Now, in effect, you get a coach. I'm guessing almost 100 coaches with all the sports and activities they have here. Yeah. You've got to assist them, and give them everything you can to allow them to be successful. Is that kind of the role of the AD?
Yeah, the role of AD, and everybody thinks it's athletic director. That's not really the name of it. It's called all duties. So that I think that's what a great athletic director does is, sometimes they'll be sweeping the floor, sometimes they'll be assisting a kid and helping with homework, whatever it takes. You're an integral part of the success of student athletes and coaches. So it is fun
to put on an event like this Semistate. Lots of hours, and you have how many people estimate helping you out today?
Oh goodness, we had about 45 people, great workers. Jeff people that want to see this be a successful event and want everyone that comes in here to have a great time and enjoy the environment. And I think we succeeded today.
From our standpoint, everything has gone like clockwork. You've done a wonderful job here.
Thank you.
We appreciate the fact that we get to come here and broadcast the games, and it's this facility, and it's great to see it almost full.
Yes, a pleasure talking to you tonight.
Our guest has been Peyton Stovall, the athletic director here at Jeff High School. Thank you very much, Peyton.
Thank you.
We'll return in just a moment. There's your halftime score. The Carmel Greyhounds leading the South Bend Wildcats by a score of 32-21 on your Indiana Members Credit Union scoreboard. Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights. For South Bend Riley, that was Rylan Grundy on a deep three. Down inside, a trick shot there, but Jamar Dillard, a fine move on his part. And there's Anderson picking the ball up and knocking down a three-pointer. For the Greyhounds, Cole Jenkins was hot early. He hit the three deep in the corner, and it's going to look like a repeat as he comes back and does exactly the same thing again. 6 points on 2 threes. And this last play of the half, Winland threw the ball all the way down to Andrew Owens. He hits it at the horn. What an exciting play to give his team the lead, 32-21 at the half. Here's your halftime stats. South Bend Riley, 19%. That tells you something of their problems. They're going to have to take a little better shot selection, in my opinion. Carmel, 50% on 10 of 20, been outstanding. South Bend, 6 out of 10, 60% at the free throw line. Carmel, 5 out of 8 at the free throw line. Turnovers, Carmel, that's the only weakness I see on their side. 7 turnovers to only 4 for South Bend. Rebounding game, South Bend Riley 20, 18 for Carmel. And again, Carmel has an 11-point halftime lead, 32-21.
Purdue University is providing higher education at the highest proven value. Learn why at purdue.edu. That halftime score in the Indiana Members Credit Union scoreboard, Carmel 32, South Bend Riley 21 on the Best Choice Fieldhouse Semi-State on the LaCie Broadcasting Network. We welcome you back to the Lafayette Jeff 4A Semi-State, the Indiana Members Credit Union scoreboard. Carmel by 11, and Dave, Carmel ended the half with a 10-1 run.
Carmel played very consistently, and they really protected the basketball well, I thought, because Riley was bringing the pressure, and they were not able to turn the Greyhounds over. They had, in my opinion, they had a little better shot selection, as I mentioned earlier, than Riley. This time, Riley's going to have to pick and choose their shots a little bit better. I'll tell you this, in my opinion, Riley has the quickness and the athletic ability to get back in this ball game. I know they trail by 11. That's 16 minutes, plenty of time to make up 11-point deficit.
They trailed by a lot early, got right back in it, but have fallen behind again. Remember, they're 26-0. They're a better team than what they've shown so far.
That's a good point, Howard, because usually there's a limited number of times that you can dig a hole and fight back. You may do it 2 times, 3 times, but there's a limit on how many times you can do that in the course of the game.
And when you do that, it takes so much out of you just fighting back that there's a little bit of a letdown.
And I'm sure that Coach Brand had Riley paying a little more attention to John Michael Malloy. I had him for 5 points in the first quarter and only 1 point there in the second. He's such an important part of the offense for the Greyhounds.
How much does that three that Andrew Owens made to end the first half mean to Carmel?
It was huge. It changed their whole momentum, and also you go in sky high in the locker room. You're excited.
Means an 8-point lead is up to 11. Okay, opening moment, period number 3. Nice pick and roll. Work it deep, but no, it didn't go by Anderson.
Good
Malloy.
block. Good block there by John Michael.
Here are the Greyhounds who lead by 11. They've gotten better as the season's progressed.
Might be a mistake playing him straight
Malloy
up.
backing in. There had to be some kind of call there, and there was none. Either a foul or a travel. Had to be one of the two.
I thought John Michael got bumped down low. I don't know if they'll show on the replay, but he really jerked like he got bumped pretty hard right here.
Right there. And Dilliard commits his third personal. Eddie Gill 2 of 3 from the line, make it 3 of 4.
Carmel is offensively at the free throw line as a team. They're 73%. That's a sign of a good team. As a team, they're 39% from the three-point line, and from the two-point range, they're 56%. So that tells me they're a pretty good team.
Yes, Gill with 6 points. And there's something to be said for Carmel, as I mentioned a moment ago. They've gotten better as the season's progressed.
Oh, without question.
Nice fake. And the jumper by Marlon Taylor, who now has 5 points. Carmel's lead 11. It's Cole Jenkins over to Eddie Gill. Tough angle. He missed a 3. Great rebound by Owens, who scores, 6'6" junior.
Matter of timing. Andrew waited on that and timed it perfectly.
Jalen Jennings outside to Grundy. Tough shot, fall away jump didn't go for Taylor. And that's Anderson, way offline. Wow, some of his shot selection hasn't been the best, but he's had a terrific season, averaging 19.7 per game.
John Michael Malloy is a strong rebounder. When he gets 2 hands on it, he wraps it up, and you don't strip it without fouling it.
He is Butler bound. Taylor's second foul. Here is Cole Jenkins.
Carmel really playing with what I think is 2 point guards. Jenkins is an outstanding point guard, but so's Luke Hetty.
And Eddie Gill firing it inside. And the foul. Fans, if you're looking to take luxury driving to the next level, look no further than Tom Roush. Celebrating 46 years in business on David Brown Drive in Westfield or online at TomRoushLincolnWestfield.com. Inside the basket by Owens.
Nice little out of bounds play, just a little cross screen by John Michael, and Owens was able to establish very low post position, receive the ball, and then muscle it up through traffic.
5:50 left to go. Beautiful pass down low. And Harrington Greer has his first basket.
That was, as you said, Grundy made that beautiful pass.
That was a big basket, a much needed basket by the Wildcats, who still are down by 13. Malloy to the hoop with a powerful move, and he lays it in.
Pretty good action there for
really
the big
well,
guy.
Dave.
6'10", puts it on the floor, has great body control.
He sure does for a guy that tall. Well,
Eddie Gill made a nice move there, almost got possession of the ball. His tippy toes were on the sideline. Goes back to Riley.
For Riley, Trevor Fortune, number 4, back in. John Michael Malloy, 8 points, 9 rebounds.
Good look at Coach Brand there.
That's one of the impressive things. You know, you look at John Michael Malloy, a guy 6'10", with that kind of agility and body control and taking the initiative.
Riley has 3 personal fouls here in the second half. Carmel has not committed a personal foul.
The 3 by Anderson, no. Malloy rebounds, and things are going Carmel's way, Dave.
Got away with it. The rule is you don't throw it back in bounds under the opposing team's basket. John Michael violated that rule, and it worked out for him.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and things are going well for you when that happens. The Greyhounds by 15. We're almost halfway through the third quarter.
I'll tell you what, they've got Jalen Jenkins. He's only 5'8". He's guarding, got stuck on Owens there, and they didn't take advantage of it.
Owens 6'6" underneath. The big guy again.
Gill into John Michael for 2 more.
Timeout. We'll take it with him. This is the Best Choice Fieldhouse Semi-State on the LaCie Broadcasting Network. The Carmel Greyhounds have opened up a 17-point lead on undefeated South Bend Riley. Dr. Gary Walton has been my dentist, I'm proud to say, for over 20 years. He's got over 30 years of experience in the areas of cosmetic and mercury-free dentistry, an outstanding dentist. He is at 9002 North Meridian. Call 317-574-1138. His excellent hygienist, Crystal, and that whole crew, Dr. Gary Walton. Carmel is on a 20-5 run, and that came when they had a 2-point lead. The lead is now 17.
And Carmel still shooting at a blistering 54% on the ball game at this point.
David, if you had told me that Carmel would be ahead by 17, 4 minutes left in the third quarter, no way.
Yeah, Carmel 54%, Riley 21.6%.
It just won't go in, and Malloy's got the rebound. His 11th board.
He's been a tremendous force on the backboards. 11 rebounds. We still got 3:50 to go in the third.
South Bend Riley 26-0. So far it hasn't been their day, but remember, the game's not over yet. There's still plenty of time.
Nice
pass inside.
Owens.
Jenkins to Owens. Well, now that lead is up to 19. Owens is 7 of 8 from the field. 18 points. Ball knocked away and intercepted. The 5th Riley turnover. Here is Cole Jenkins. A little over 3 minutes left.
Carmel has just been very
Third
methodical.
Quarter. Malloy deep, and he scores. Wow, the Greyhounds are putting on a clinic, and they're ahead by 21. Malloy 6 of 7, or Carmel 6 of 7 in the quarter from the field. A nice move with the left hand by Trevor Fortune, a 5'7" junior, his first bucket. The lead is 19.
Oh, I called a double foul. I was looking at that all the way. I'm going to tell you, Reed was trying to bait Eddie Gill into that, starting way up here in the backcourt. And they bumped 3 times before the officials saw it.
Reed's first foul, Gill's second. Visit Andy Moore Toyota on US 36 in Avon. 5 minutes west of 465, 5 minutes from Avon High School. Jeremy Wilson and that crew will take great care of you. New cars pre-owned. Andy Moore Toyota in Avon. Yeah, that double foul was nowhere near the ball. Here's a long, long shot, and Eddie Gill has got it. I think that says it all as far as the Greyhounds are concerned.
And Eddie had a couple words.
3 didn't go by Anderson.
After making that 3, he was barking a little bit.
Carmel's 7 of 8 from the field in this quarter. South Bend Riley 3 of 9 from the field. And again, South Bend Riley coming in here 26-0. They've had an incredible season.
That last foul was on Cole Jenkins, and that's his 3rd foul.
The lead is up to 22. And a baseline move by Gabe Johnson.
That was more than a move. That was a great move.
Slam. Carmel ahead by 20, under 2 minutes left, third quarter. Hey fans, if you're looking to take luxury driving to the next level, look no further than Tom Roush, celebrating 46 years in business. Visit the showroom on David Brown Drive or online, tomroushwestfield.com. A minute 38 left in the third quarter. Greyhounds led by 7 at the quarter. That didn't go by fortune. Another rebound for John Michael Malloy, his 12th. Greyhounds led by 11 at the half, and now they're up by 20.
Well, I think without question, South Bend is a little bit stunned, Howard. They come in here undefeated, and they look up the scoreboard, 49-29. They trail by 20, so Carmel's going to take a timeout here, but I think they're just a little bit in a state of shock.
Timeout. We will tell you that proprietors Larry and Donna Cohen of Norley Investments are big supporters of high school sports. Norley Investments, downtown Indianapolis. Larry Cohen, a proud Broad Ripple graduate. Donna, a Kokomo graduate. 317-635-8318. The Norley Investments phone number. The American Legion, Department of Indiana Service Office, trained to provide assistance free of charge to veterans and their families. Great service provided to all U.S. military wartime veterans, regardless of membership. American Legion of Indiana. We change lives. For more info, indianalegion.org. Will Henry and John Crosby and Tim Sproles and the fine people at American Legion. .1:15 left, third quarter, Dave.
It's kind of interesting just what you do as a coach. You say, hey, we got time. We got 9 minutes and 16 seconds left of basketball to be played, but you look up at the board and your kids can read numbers. It's 49-29, so it's going to be a difficult task for South Bend Riley to make a dent in this.
There's Anderson. He's their best player. He can't get a break.
He hasn't had a good day. Hasn't scored here in the second half. Had 6 points in the first half.
Rough day from the floor.
Missed his last 8 attempts.
Here's Eddie Gill. Why not play for the last shot of the quarter if you're the Greyhounds? You're up by 20.
Yeah, they're in that type of set. They got the middle open.
That's Luke Hetty.
Keep the middle open so you can drive. If there's a drive takes place, it's going to be Hetty or it's going to be Gill. They're basically just getting it down, using up the clock.
There's Jalen Wack. We're down to 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Ten seconds.
Wack,
surprised to see him do that.
Can't drive between two players.
Two, you give the opposition two as Gabe Johnson slams it through. Wack shooting, and he almost hit it. But you gave him a couple of points there at the end of the third quarter on the Indiana Members Credit Union scoreboard. Carmel 41, South Bend Riley 49, South Bend Riley 31. This is the Best Choice Fieldhouse Semistate on the LaCie Broadcasting Network. We welcome you back to the 4A Semistate at Lafayette Jeff on the Indiana Members Credit Union scoreboard. Carmel ahead 49-31, 18-point lead as we begin the fourth quarter. The winner goes to the state championship game. A Carmel team that is 20-7, a South Bend Riley team 26-0. Eddie Gill dribbling that ball a lot.
You won't see Carmel go into a complete delay, but they will be in no hurry to shoot the basketball, and they shouldn't be. They got they got about 7.5 minutes left, and they've got a nice lead. Use the clock till you get what you want. I wasn't throwing high enough.
Anderson intercepts the pass intended for Malloy. Working it down low in the basket by Grundy. And that lead now is down to 16. Carmel's turned it over a couple of times, end of the quarter and now, and South Bend Riley's capitalized.
Coach Osmond says spread the court again. Use up some time.
6 straight South Bend Riley points. Here's a foul, and that is on Jennings. Reaching in. For a great deal, go to Ed Martin Acura on Keystone, just east of 96th Street. New cars, pre-owned cars. Gabe Green, Bob Warner, and that whole crew will take great care of you at Ed Martin Acura.
The last foul was on Jalen Jennings. He's a smart young man. He was an all-stater in football, and he has a grade index of about 3.25. So he's a smart kid.
Here is Eddie Gill. Carmel by 16, 6.5 minutes left. Eddie Gill all the way to the hoop, and he draws a foul.
Determination to get it there. He had defense with him all the way, but he used what we call the power dribble, very low and very hard, so you couldn't reach in and knock the ball away. Eddie Gill.
The Wildcats have scored 6 straight points to cut a 22-point lead to 16. Grundy commits his second personal, and that ends that 6-0 run. Eddie Gill's a good free throw shooter. Carmel 8 of 11 from the line, and Andrew Owens, who's played very well, will get a rest. Number 20, he sits down.
Jalen Whack back in to give him a breather.
Grundy will inbound to Jennings. And that foul will be on Eddie Gill. And again, you're ahead by 18 points.
Yeah, I see no reason to do that at this point. You put pressure on defensively, but you don't gamble as much. There's no reason to gamble. That clock is your friend. You're in good shape score-wise.
They still have some fouls. They're not in the bonus yet. They've committed 3 team fouls. And that rims the basket by Anderson. Malloy with his 13th rebound.
John Michael, when he gets those rebounds, needs to be just a little bit careful in swinging those elbows. Timeout, Carmel.
Timeout. We'll pause for these words on the Best Choice Fieldhouse Semistate. This is the LaCie Broadcasting Network. Welcome back as Carmel's ahead by 18 on the Indiana Members Credit Union scoreboard. Exciting news, folks. Tom Roush, now Central Indiana's newest Mitsubishi dealer. Take advantage up to $5,000 off a new Outlander, 0% financing for 84 months. Showroom in Westfield or online at TomRoushMitsubishi.com.
I'm sure Coach Osborne there took that timeout for Carmel. He's probably going to go back to running a little more of a set offense. They were more in a spread, what people would call a four-corner style offense. They were doing pretty well when they were attacking, so I think he's going to have them to be a little bit more aggressive attacking the basket.
Here's Eddie Gill. Over to Cole Jenkins. They're up by 18, under 6 minutes to go. Here's Malloy. Powerful move to the hoop. The ball knocked away, but recovered. Eddie Gill, that may be a charge.
They'll take that one away.
And it's Gill's 4th foul. It's Carmel's 12th turnover. South Bend Riley, Dave. We'll look at this replay first.
Gill along the baseline. A little bit too aggressive, in my opinion, when you've got the lead you have, and especially when you had 3 personals and picked up your 4th one. Eddie Gill's a pretty important part of finishing this game on defense and doing other things.
Jennings for 3, no. Follow, put up and in. Underneath by the little guy, Trevor Fortune, the 5'7" junior. And they lost the ball. Owens lost the ball. And here's South Bend Riley averaging over 70 points a game, Dave. and they only have 35.
They have not had a good day offensively. Part of that is the Carmel defense. Part of it is questionable shot selection at times, and part of it, the ball just didn't go in when they had good looks. So, combination of all those things.
Well said. Johnson missed a shot in close that could have cut it to 14 points. The lead has been up to 22. Inside Malloy. Jalen Wack off target. Malloy's underneath to score, and that's all about what you do before the shot.
Yeah, he did the work, got the inside position established, and that kind of broke the momentum a little bit and got it back in Carmel's favor.
That's a big basket because, as you said, Riley had some momentum.
Good judgment there. There was a Carmel player down court pretty much open. John Michael looked, wasn't sure he could make it for sure. Why take a chance? So he still got the ball, got the clock running. Smart decision.
There's contact, there's a foul.
I believe it's going to be the 6th-team foul on Riley, so no one. They've got 7 on the board now, so Hetty will go to the free throw line. He hasn't scored in the ball game. 73% free throw shooter.
Harrington Greer back in. Luke Hetty's first time at the line tonight, 73% this season.
There's a young man that really has sacrificed his offense this year. Last year he was the shooting guard, more or less. He got a lot of shots, a lot of opportunities. This year he's been happy to play defense, run the club, make the passes, and not worry too much about his own game. It takes a strong young man to do that, but he's on a good ball club as a result.
That one rims the basket. Greer with a rebound. And here's a whistle and foul.
Jenkins just reached, and I believe that's his 4th. You know, so he and Eddie Gill both have gotten themselves in foul trouble. Fortunately, they've got a real nice lead in the ball game, but not a good play.
Karsten Windland will come in and replace Cole Jenkins, who played very well, especially in the early going.
Yeah, Windland came in the second quarter, if you remember, put up 4 points and helped the ball club.
The open man, and the basket underneath by Harrington Greer, who now has 4 points. Check out Andy Moore Avon Nissan on US 36, 5 minutes west of 465, 5 minutes from Avon High School, the #1 Nissan dealership in the greater Indianapolis area. Pre-owned cars, new cars, Ben Mendoza, Tim DeMent, Pat Hurst, that whole great crew at Andy Moore Avon Nissan.
Windland 67%, knocks it in.
Windland with 5 points. And he now has 6. Carmel 5 of 6 from the line. We're under 4 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. And a move along the baseline on a blocking foul call.
I think that's going to be Andrew Owens.
And here the Greyhounds with a big lead keep committing fouls. It's the last thing you want to do when you have a lead. The 3 doesn't go by Taylor. Although the Greyhounds have played one terrific game today. They really have.
Nice pass there.
Owens with a nice fake.
Wack could have gone to the basket and attempted a shot, but he had Owens open in the corner. Still got the ball, still got the clock running, still got the lead.
And we're down to 3.5 minutes, and the lead is 19. That's going to be mighty tough to get back in the game. And the Greyhounds handling this beautifully. Windland goes in and he lays it in. He's got 8 points. They ate up a lot of clock.
Windland commits the personal there. I realize it's tough when a dribbler's coming at you full speed like that, but in this situation, you might be better off again just to let them go, keep the clock moving.
Jennings 2 of 4 from the line. Those were his 2 points, averaging 4.5 points a game. He'll get the bonus, a 74% free throw shooter.
And is strangely quiet in the gymnasium.
Well, Carmel's put on an incredible display. South Bend Riley 26-0 coming in, and Carmel's ahead of them by 19 points with a little over 3 minutes to go. Luchetti in the backcourt.
Carmel's got a nice combination of players. They've got good ball handlers, very trustworthy with the ball. They've got multiple people that can score. They've got the big guy there with the ball who gives them a great inside force.
And he's fouled. That is on Harrington Greer.
But they've got all the ingredients, and nobody on Carmel, the bench, or in the stands or anybody's thinking about next year. But think of this: they've got Hetty back at guard. They got Andrew Rowans back, 6'6". They've got John Michael back, and they got Winland back. That's 4 pretty good pieces to start with.
And Malloy will get one more, and that lead is 20 points. Tip your cap to the Greyhounds. Malloy with 15 points, 14 rebounds. He's been outstanding.
Be interesting who Carmel faces next week. The Semistate just getting going down at Seymour, where you've got Warren Central, who's also undefeated, as you know, and New Albany with Romeo.
Spinning, and a nice move with the left hand there by Harrington Greer. The lead is 19 with 2:35 to go. Paul Jenkins moves it across, and if you're Carmel, just eat up that clock. Luchetti.
Might be a good idea to go back to that wide open middle offense. Spread it out. They're going to leave John Michael in there, 4 out, and him inside.
Jenkins over to Jalen Wack, who's dribbling the ball now.
There's going to be a double foul called. Hetty is really mixing it up right there with number 13. They've been really mixing it up. Dorsey and Hetty locking arms, and I'm surprised the official did not call that earlier. Both players were being overly aggressive.
Dorsey commits the personal. But we have 1:59 to go, and Carmel's ahead by 19 points. He'll get another. And the Greyhounds by 21.
We've talked about this before. No one at the beginning of the season were thinking that Carmel would be in this situation, going to be playing a state championship game next week.
And that'll count in a foul for Greer. And a technical foul has been called, and it's against South Bend Riley, I believe.
Well, after that basket, number 25, Greer, was jawing a little bit. I understand frustration when you're 26-0 and you look up the clock and there's a minute 51 and you trail by 19 points. But you gotta, that's part of the lessons you learn in competition. You have some setbacks, you have some difficulties, and it makes you tougher. When you face that situation again, you learn how to deal with it a little bit.
And as Dave said, the technical on Greer. Greer will shoot his free throw. He made the basket. He does not complete the three-point play.
Now they'll shoot 2 down to Greyhound in.
And Luchetti, is 73% free throw shooter, will shoot him.
He just made a couple just about 20 seconds or less ago.
He didn't have to follow his
No.
shot.
Well, he knew. The reason he was walking, it's like when you miss a putt in golf. You know it's going to miss, so you just start walking toward it. Luke knew it wasn't going in, so he decided to just follow it.
He knew that one was good. He didn't move. Well, the Greyhounds ahead by 20. 1:51 to go. They have played a great game. They led 19-12 at the quarter, 32-21 at the half, 49-31 after 3. They lengthened their lead in each quarter. They led by 22 at one point. At that time, South Bend Riley reeled off 6 straight to cut it to 16, but did no more. And really, from South Bend Riley's perspective, there's no need to foul now anyway. You're not going to get anything out. It's not like you're preparing for another game.
And Carmel just says, let's finish the game, you know, get the clock out. So they're just pulling it out and spreading it, which is the correct thing to do. This has got to be a huge win for Carmel.
Oh.
I'm not sure how many people had seen South Bend Riley. I had not. But when they're 26-0, you know they've got to play awfully well throughout the season.
On the Indiana Members Credit Union scoreboard, Carmel leading by 20. Under a minute to go. The Greyhounds are going to the state championship game. That's heady. Under 50 seconds. Tip your cap. Carmel has been phenomenal today.
And I said earlier, South Bend Riley's going to be really disappointed right now, but before they get back home in South Bend, they're going to say 26-1. That's a great year.
Well said. They've had a tremendous year, has South Bend Riley. It wasn't there today. Those things happen. But the Greyhounds played well on top of that, and that's why you have a 20-point differential, which surprises everybody. You have this big a point differential. 13 seconds left. It's all over but the final few seconds. And the Carmel Greyhounds are headed to the state championship game next Saturday. The final score, Carmel 63, South Bend Riley 43. Cut down those nets. On the Indiana Members Credit Union scoreboard, this is the Best Choice Fieldhouse Semi-State on the LaCie Broadcasting Network. On the Indiana Members Credit Union scoreboard, the final score, Carmel 63, South Bend Riley 43. And now, Dave, the ICJI play of the game.
Well, just before the halftime, Christian Winland throws that long pass to Andrew Owens. You remember, he hits a 3 to put Carmel up 32-21. And what a momentum builder going into halftime. That's our play of the game.
And a great choice. And that final score, Carmel winning 63-43. We'll be back in a moment. This is the Best Choice Fieldhouse Semi-State on the LaCie Broadcasting Network. Carmel wins it 63-43. We conclude our 29th consecutive year of televising high school basketball on WHMB TV 40. Thanks to our sister station in South Bend for being aboard today, WHME. Thanks to Keith Passon, General Manager of TV 40. Jeff Elliott, Production Manager. Dave West, our Director, as he is most days. Our Executive Producer, spotter, statistician, Tim Borf, the entire TV 40 crew for all their great work again this season. And we thank our host today here at Lafayette Jeff.
Lafayette Jeff and Peyton Stovall, the athletic director here, great host, great place to work. Gave us a tremendous view from our broadcast booth. It was just a great day of basketball. And you got a feel for South Bend Riley coming in here undefeated. But I've said many times in the last 2 or 3 weeks, it is very difficult to go all the way undefeated. It just happened to, they did not play their best game this afternoon in the Semistate. So they are done at 26-1, but Eric Brand has got to be really proud of his ball club, and they'll look back with great pride. On the other side, the Carmel Greyhounds, Coach Osborne, they're moving on with a record of 21-7, which means nothing. What means something is they get to play for the championship next Saturday. And the guys that have been good for them were pretty good today. Andrew Owens, very good. John Michael Malloy has been consistent all year long, and you got great help from their guards, and particularly I thought the athletic play of Eddie Gill. He made some great plays, got to the free throw line numerous times. So outstanding.
Dave, great working with you again this season. It's always a pleasure.
Likewise, Howard. It was great. Always is. You do a wonderful job. That's why you're in the Hall of Fame of broadcasting.
Thank you so much. In that final, Carmel wins it 63-43. Howard Kellman, Dave Nicholson, Tim Borf, Dave West, Jeff Elliott. Goodbye, everybody.